pads off and trying to swap their gray cotton t-shirts out. So the idea was there was a problem. And the concept was, like many of you do with your businesses, was how are you going to solve that problem? So within that, I decided, what if I made a t-shirt made out of this synthetic material, kind of like compression shorts that were on lower body, but for the upper body. And to test this concept, I decided, I'll go to a local fabric store, a place called Minnesota Fabrics in Hyattsville. Went to the store, walked in and said, ma'am, can you put me in the direction of material that looks like this? I brought this content label from my compression shorts. She pointed me to the corner. I bought as much material as they had in the store. I took that material to a local tailor, brought him a tight little White Hanks t-shirt and said, sir, can you make me as many t-shirts that look like this out of this material? So 7 prototypes and $450 later, I had my first 7 shirts that I ended up testing on my teammates at the University of Maryland in the spring of 1996. And of those 7 shirts I passed out, one of the players was also a lacrosse player. One of the players was also a baseball player. And the lacrosse player, his girlfriend, she played on the girls' lacrosse team. And all of them started coming back and saying, in addition to the football players, where else, the other guys on the lacrosse team are asking for this. My girlfriend, she wants to know where she can get one. And more important than anything else than just making what I thought was a good product, I realized there was something much bigger than one simple t-shirt, that we developed this new category that we would eventually brand as performance. So with that, imagine first of all convincing, because that first fabric was, it's evolved more than 40 different iterations since that first shirt that we built. And those first fabrics that we used were actually the basis from women's lingerie. So you imagine the branding conundrum when you're trying to convince these big, tough football players to essentially wear women's lingerie on their bodies underneath and during competition. We better be some pretty good marketers, huh? That concept couldn't have been any more true. So the idea that we had was to build to start this category. You'll probably all recognize the picture that you see on the screen now. So with $16,000 in cash and $40,000 in available credit cards, I set up shop in Georgetown Row House, where my grandmother had lived but was now vacant. The rent was right, the proximity to Georgetown University was perfect for a 23-year-old kid. So how familiar in this picture to those of you in this room? You probably all have one of these from your archives that says, remember that day? Remember when you were just getting started? We had the back room stuffed, you had product jammed all around you, and you acted like there were 100 people in the office, but it was only you? The computer on that desk wasn't even plugged in. But it was worth the rent for the impression that it made when people came in and we were serious about our business. So the product was founded and then the hard part began. How do you build a company? How do you build something great? That's the fun part. Well, I found my first manufacturer up in New York. I spent 1996 perfecting my product with countless trips to New York, refining with my manufacturer, then eventually moving manufacturing down here to Baltimore, then eventually moving it out to Ohio. There were a lot of different alternatives for manufacturing back in those days. It was actually in Bel Air, Ohio, where I met my manufacturing mentor, the guy who probably made me make the greatest progress with my product, a guy named Sal Faciano. Sal was a native of Brooklyn, the kind of person who started every sentence with how many years he'd been in the business. Kid, you don't know a damn thing? I've been doing this 35 years. We all have one of those, and we have to appreciate them. The reason that businesses get going is because we have those mentors to look up to, and it's not just on the manufacturing side or the product side, it comes from all over. Today we've rebuilt that first product, that $25 Geek Gear Full t-shirt, that's still the #1 seller in our line, and sell more than 5 million of them each year, more than 40 different times, continuing to evolve it and make it great. The mentors that I've had from Sal on the manufacturing side, the people who invested early on, my Under Armour partners who sacrificed and believed, the vendors who gave me credit, the landlords who provided me with a chance, like Sam Hillrich, someone here in Baltimore, who actually provided me the ability to move from DC up to Baltimore, who gave my first lease that was here in town with nothing more than a handshake. These aren't the kind of things that you can write in a lease. These aren't the kind of things that you can mandate through a government program either. It's about people giving others a chance and always looking for that next opportunity. I promise to do that for myself, and I promise all of you to take what you've been able to accomplish so far and help someone else make that next opportunity. So that journey has been a tremendous amount of fun. From $17,000 in sales in 1996 to $110,000 in sales in 1997, to $400,000, to $1.3 million, to $5 million, to $20 million, $50 million. 150, 205, 285, 405, 605, 725. And this year, our latest guidance has us at $835 million. And that happens only this year. And we're very proud to say that that happened in Baltimore, and happy here for a Maryland company as well. So how are we built? Today we are publicly traded with our headquarters here in town. We have more than 2,700 teammates doing business in 30 countries and move far beyond just team product for men with women's and footwear, representing two of our fastest areas of growth. We are a brand that is constantly running, and we continue to play offense every day. So what I want to begin and just tell you briefly about is what I call my job description. This is something that sits at the center of the board in my office, and I look at every morning when I get to work and every night before I get home. And I decide if I'm not working on one of these four things, I'm not doing my job. Make great product, tell a great story about my product, service the business, and build a great team of people to do that. So with all four of those, we say first and foremost that we're a product company, bar none. But probably one of the best products that we manufacture is our ability to tell great stories. So what I want to do first is tell you about some of those stories, because brands are stories, your companies are stories. And like every great story, like a brand, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And every product that we build, every commercial we run, every interaction the consumer has with our brand is like a chapter in the story of the book of Under Armour. And each one needs to make sense to the one in front of it, and it needs to make sense to the one after it. And our job is to simply manage that story, manage the cadence of that story. So as a company, we have 5 growth engines of business: men's apparel, women's apparel, footwear, international, direct-to-consumer. Our growth strategy is simple, in that we say that men's, which is our largest category, will someday be outpaced by our women's apparel business. Our men's and women's apparel business combined will someday be outpaced by our footwear business, which we're investing in to make it larger. Then those 3 product categories of men's, women's, and footwear, we look to take them country by country around the globe and tell those product stories. And when we don't have the great distribution, we'll supplement them with our own direct-to-consumer and our own retail stores. Our belief, though, with all of these is that we have yet to build our defining product as a brand. We don't see ourselves somewhere being defined as a company who made the tight t-shirts for football players. We continue to evolve to be so much more than that. And at the center and the heart of each and every one of those, and as you all know, is the word of innovation. Innovation is the key. Our job is not to just make product because we think we can sell a bunch of units. We like to say that our product is Under Armour long before we put the logo on it. It begins with the fiber, it begins with the fabric. More importantly, it begins with the point of view. Why do we make this particular product? And so sure enough, I walk in the locker room, all these guys are wearing our tops, our shirts on top. If you ever been to a hockey room after a game, these guys are working out twice as hard after a game, moving lactic acid around their legs as they are before a game. And every one of them was wearing this short. And I thought to myself, where did that come from? And somebody said, that's this inventor, and he's been working on it, it's a great product. So I thought to myself, what can I do to take a product like that from an inventor who's going to sell 16,000 to 18,000 units of it, and put that into the Under Armour delivery system, and take great innovation, and make him a partner of mine, and be able to, not unlike a great retailer that you go to, because they always have the great brands, they always have the latest innovations. That's what people expect from us. Our job is to keep our eyes and our ears open, of not the not-invented here syndrome, but looking for wherever great innovation can live and can happen. Another great product category from that is something that we have called Armor, which is a mouth guard that actually enhances performance. It aligns your jaw, which aligns your spine, which gives you greater flexibility, greater power. And you'll see athletes from Derek Jeter to Manny Ramirez to professional golfers. I'm not mentioning professional golfers in this talk. That's for Craig and David to do later. And within that, now if your kids are selling this one, the first version out is anywhere between $350 and $500. We're working on our commercial version, but I can tell you that the product is different. It's taking something that was a dumb boil-and-bite mouth guard and making it into something special. That's our job. And it's not just storytelling because it works. We're not just slapping a logo on it and saying it's buy it because we think we're cool. We're saying buy it because we will make you better. So this does not mean that we secede innovation to outside of our walls. Innovation is a part of who our brand is. Our team is constantly looking to solve problems for athletes. A great example of that is our recent introduction of something called our Recharge Recovery Suit. We launched this past spring. It's a product that's meant to help repair your body back to optimal physical condition. So imagine an athlete who goes out and participates in a game and typically takes them 3 or 4 days to recover. Imagine a product they can wear that can help them recover in 2 to 3 days. So think about the Orioles who need 5 great pitchers. We take 1 or 2, actually. And imagine if instead of 5 days rest, the guy could do it on 4 days rest. That's the type of thinking and innovation that we're bringing. Partnering with people like the University of Connecticut with the latest and the greatest science out there in the world. So we understand that innovation isn't just about the cool stuff of how it makes you perform, because so much of what we do when we perform is about how we feel and how we think, and that's the way that things look. Some of the best and most visible innovation that you're going to see from Under Armour is going to come at the upcoming Olympics in Vancouver this February, where we're very proudly outfitting our U.S. Olympic ski and bobsled teams. And amongst other things that we'll have for them, including waterproof, breathable, wired electronics and the jackets the ski team will be wearing out there, they're also going to look great. All the emphasis on innovation, don't think we ever forget that unless the product looks great, the athlete, the 19-year-old kid, is probably not going to be inclined to wear it or believe in it as much. So what's on the screen now is a look at what our U.S. bobsled team looked like just before Under Armour got involved. So this is just kind of any category, whether it's a football team, a bobsled team, a ski team. This is what we call the Under Armour effect. What you're about to see is the first exclusive look at the new bobsled uniforms built for our teams with Under Armour cold gear. We took an Evel Knievel theme with some of the team uniforms and are giving our athletes something fun and unique. So that's the Under Armour logo, right? So if I could maybe just show you one other athlete who's getting a lot of buzz at this upcoming Olympics, actually stands to win as many as 5 gold medals and be the Michael Phelps, even though he's our hometown guy. The Michael Phelps of this Olympics is called Lindsey Vonn, and she partnered with one of our great partners, Dick's Sporting Goods, to make the following spot.
Lindsey Vonn. Only at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Ooh. Please keep your eyes on Lindsey Vonn. She is going to be a star, as we said, and she's going to make the United States very, very happy and very, very proud. So again, finally, I want to congratulate all the future 50 stars for what you've done in your companies, and not only the principals, but also your teams. And I can't tell you how much. You never hear it enough, and sometimes they forget to sometimes those guys and those girls who are running your companies, they have a lot of things going on in their head. So be patient with them. Remind them sometime. Tell them to slap you on the back, because sometimes we just forget. And it's not because of anything else than the fact that we're just running hard, because of what we want, because of what we see, and because of what, more importantly, that we believe that we can make happen. Make sure you don't know too much, and I mean that in the best way. Make sure that you maintain that naivete of being smart enough to be naive enough of never knowing what you can accomplish. That's what life's about. That's the opportunity that you have, and you can do absolutely anything in this great world. If I could leave you with one bit of closing advice, and it's one of the most popular questions that I get from entrepreneurs. They typically come, they ask me and say, Kevin, I've got $1 million business, and I want to know how I can get the thing to $10 million. I've got a $10 million business, I want to know how I can get it to $100 million. And the answer for that, and sometimes you can read books and other things will be out there, but I'll give you my perspective, which is at that level where where a company of that size is today, you can hire great people, you can come up with great products and do other things, but I'll promise you the one thing that is more important than anything is the ability for you to take your business, grab it by the throat, and you have to choke it, man. You have to drive it, you have to run it, you have to own it, you have to want it. Because there's nobody else you can hire, there's nobody else you can put this off to, there's no check that you're going to get in the mail on a monthly basis. It is darn hard work. But I promise you, and as each and every one of you know, It is the most rewarding thing in the entire world, not only for yourselves, but for your teams that you built, for your families, for your children, because what we're doing, representing some of that 60% that makes this country move, is something so much bigger, so much more powerful than anything else you'll be able to accomplish in life. So again, I congratulate you under the auspices of Protect This House, meaning our city. No loser talk. Keep playing offense, and as Craig said, it's a marathon. So let's keep running. I'll see you guys in another 8 years, and look forward to that next one. Thank you very much.
Now, on behalf of everybody at SmartCEO Magazine, I want to present you with this. We are very, very proud that you're based here in Baltimore. And I just need to show you one thing, because we do share the vision with you of the brand. But look what I got on. Thank you, Kevin. Dinner will now be served, and then the awards program will start right after that.